Now let's talk about benefits of autoscaling. Adding autoscaling to your application architecture is one way to maximize the benefits of AWS Cloud. So when you use autoscaling, your application gains the following benefits. First is better fault tolerance. Autoscaling can detect when instance is unhealthy, terminate it, and launch an instance to replace it. You can also configure autoscaling to use multiple availability zones. If one availability zone becomes unavailable, autoscaling can launch instance in another one to compensate. Second benefit is better availability. Autoscaling can help you ensure that your application always has the right amount of capacity to handle the current traffic demands. Third benefit is better cost management. Autoscaling can dynamically increase or decrease the capacity as needed because you pay for the EC2 instance you use. You save money by launching the instance when they are actually needed and terminating them when they are not needed. So let's see the benefit of autoscaling using an example. So here you can see that we have a graph which shows the capacity on y-axis and day of week on x-axis. Here you can see that from Sunday to Saturday, the capacity. So here we can consider one example of web application which is hosted on AWS Cloud. That web application is used for setting up a meeting for employees. So here you can see that on Sunday there is a less traffic. So there is a less number of requests from employees. And as soon as the week started from Monday, the request got increased from the employees to set up a meeting. So the requests from the employees are increased from Monday to Wednesday. And Thursday suddenly the request or capacity got decreases. And suddenly on Friday it got increased. And on weekend days there is less number of requests from the employees. So for this example, there could be one option that you have to create enough number of server to handle the enough number of requests from the employees. But here you can see that on Sunday there is less number of requests from employees and the request got increased from Monday to Wednesday and suddenly it got decreased on Thursday. So you can see here the unused capacity. So there could be one option to create enough number of server. And there could be another option to create enough number of capacity for the employees to use the application. But if suddenly the request got increased from Monday to Wednesday or any day of the week, then the customer will not get or the employees will not get the proper response or they will not be happy by using that web application which is hosted on AWS. So here you can see that suddenly the capacity got increased from Monday to Wednesday. So here they will not get a proper response from the web application. So for this example or for this scenario, we can use the autoscaling, which is the best feature provided by the Amazon. So what autoscaling will do? So the autoscaling will create the EC2 instance depends on the number of requests. So here you can see that on Sunday the requests are less. So there may be one or two EC2 instances. Suppose the request got increased from Monday to Wednesday. So the autoscaling will launch one more EC2 instance and route the traffic to that EC2 instance which is created by autoscaling. So same you can see that on Saturday, suppose the request got decreased. So the autoscaling will terminate the EC2 instance which is not required. Now we can check one more example of web app architecture. So suppose this is the AWS infrastructure and where we have created different layer of EC2 instance. So this web tier which is created in public subnet, an application tier and a DB tier, they are created in private subnet. So the user will access the web tier which is created in public subnet. So for this scenario, we can use the autoscaling features. I can show you. So here you can see that we have one EC2 instance in the web tier, and the user is trying to access the web tier from public internet. So right now this is the current compute capacity, and suddenly the number of users got increased. So the capacity will added only when needed. So the autoscaling is the feature, it will launch one more instance in that same subnet. So like that, same for application tier. So autoscaling is the best feature to use in this type of scenarios. So these all are the benefits of autoscaling.